Carolina is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the chair for yielding me the time, and I thank you so much, Ranking Member Poe, for joining in this resolution. Madam Speaker, I was born and raised in the little town of Sumter, South Carolina, and just outside of Sumter is the little town of Maysville, the birthplace of Mary McLeod Bethune, the founder of the National Council of Negro Women. When I was growing up, my mother, who was a beautician, and Mrs. Bethune organized the National Council through beauty shops. My mother thought that Mrs. Bethune was the greatest person to ever live, and she made me learn everything I could about Mrs. Bethune. Later, as I labored on the staff of Governor John West back in 1971, I received a phone call from Dorothy Height. I knew Mrs. Height. She had been a long time president of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, the sister sorority to my fraternity, Omega Psi Phi, so I knew her. I also knew her because she had become the national leader of the National Council of Negro Women. And she said to me that she wanted my help because she thought that South Carolina, being the birthplace of Mary McLeod Bethune, would be the place that ought to honor her. She thought that Ms. Bethune's portrait should be in the State House of South Carolina. At that time, no African American was so honored. There had never been an African American's portrait placed in the State House. And I went to Governor West and I told him that I thought that this was something we should do. Well, as you can imagine, Madam Speaker, this was not met with as much collegiality as we display toward each other here on this floor. And so I called Mrs. Hyde to tell her that I thought this was going to be very, very difficult. She said to me, "Now, young man, I didn't ask your help because I thought it was going to be easy." She said things to me that day that made me understand a lot about who and what I am. And we joined together. We covered and counseled each other. And I'm pleased to report that because of Mrs. Hyde, Dr. Hyde, the portrait of Mary McLeod Bethune hangs in the State House of South Carolina, the first African American so honored. Others have joined us later, Benny Mays and Ida Quincy Newman, but she blazed that trail, and she did so because of Dr. Hyde. When I got elected to the Congress, Dr. Hyde called again, and she told me that the National Council was going to put a statue here in, I believe, Lincoln Park, here in Washington, and she wanted me to come and be a part of that dedication. I joined her there that day, and from that day on, very often, we would meet, we would talk on the phone, and I just believe that she is very close to being as great a woman as Mary McLeod Bethune was. And I'm pleased to be here to say a few words in honor of her and in memory of her great life and tremendous legacy. And with that, I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman from Texas is recognized.
I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman reserves his time.